want to behead me. All right, so I have two winners tonight. So your gifts are prepared for you. But I'm about to bring up our keynote speaker. Permit me to run through what I have with me for the keynote speaker. She'll be coming up to inspiring introduction to autism awareness and mental health advocacy. Permit me to run through what I have about the keynote speaker. She is a mental health advocate and director of the Glory Lucas Foundation, a non-profit dedicated to transforming child and youth mental health in Nigeria, with a background in business development and love for arts as a visual artist. She is passionate about public policy, culture, and social impact. Ladies and gentlemen, I need you all with a rousing ovation. Please put your hands together and welcome on stage our keynote speaker for today, the one and only, our name alone, my God, Expensive Lucas. Put your hands together and make welcome Expensive Lucas. Can you jam those hands together? You are not clapping well. I need the clap to be louder. I need the ovation to be louder than this. Can you make some noise? Make some noise. Make some noise. Make some noise.
Hi, good evening, everyone.
Good evening, ma'am.
Please sit down. Thank you. Okay, so I'm sure you heard my name. My name is Expensive Lucas. Yeah, expensive. I get that reaction every time I say my name. Everybody laughs. Or they ask me, can I buy you? One of the two. It's always one of those jokes. But yes, my name is Expensive Lucas. I run a nonprofit right now for mental health with children. And it's a privilege to be here in front of everyone. But before I start my actual keynote speech, I would start with telling a very funny story. So I have a very unconventional habit. Whenever I have to public speak, I leave my prep for the speech to like 2 days or 3 days before the actual event. Solely because I think, the pressure makes me work faster and I have more inspiration. So I only start preparing 2 days. And this particular event, I've had 2 months to prepare for it. So Fola reached out August. I remember very clearly because it was 3 days after my birthday. And I was coming back from a birthday trip and I saw the message. I was like, oh, wait, you want me to speak at an event? Wow, that's a very nice birthday gift. Thank you again for that birthday gift. I really appreciate it. And so I've had 2 months to prepare for this. And you'd expect that it was easy for me because, I work in mental health. This is something I do every single day. I take psychology classes. So this is something that I should have enough knowledge to come here and stand in front of everyone and inspire and talk. But it was not a walk in the park. And so last week, I was making eggs. Now, the egg has nothing to do with this conversation. I just want you guys to know that I made egg. The egg was really, really nice. And so I was making eggs in my kitchen and I was walking and I was thinking, if I come here on this stage and I stand and I talk to everyone here, what do I want the people listening to me to take away from it? It's a privilege to be here to talk. And it hit me. It's a privilege. I have a voice and that voice, I'm coming here to share something. And so today I'm going to talk to you guys about the power of your voice and how important it is to use your voice to make change, especially in the context of mental health awareness. And, does anybody know what the movie we're watching today, the premiere name is? I think it's we know the name, right? Voiceless. That's what the name of the movie is. And, when everybody here watches Voiceless, we'll leave here with more knowledge about autism. That is a voice. We're learning something from that. But obviously, you don't have to have a big stage to have a voice. Now, I work with children. I see children every single day. Every single day, when I go to schools, this is like my primary focus. And we do mental health awareness, aside the other things we do for the children. So whenever we go to, schools and we have our sessions with them, they're always recurring. We start, obviously, by introducing them to mental health. We say, hey, what do you guys know about mental health? It's always the first question. Our psychologists ask them, what do you know about mental health? And every single child that I speak to says something similar. They say madness. All of them say something along the line of mad, this, that. It's just always mad. And so whenever they would say that, I would come and ask them, so you say madness? They say yes, mental health is definitely relating to madness. And then I'll ask them, do I look mad? And they'll say, no, Miss Expense, you look very normal. And I'll say, but what if I tell you that I actually say psychiatrist? They'll say, no, that no, you don't look like. I said, well, I see a psychiatrist. I have a psychiatrist. When I feel emotionally not okay, I reach out to my therapist and my psychiatrist and say, I need to have a session with you. I'm not mad. I mean, will you see me on the street? They said, no, but you look very normal. I said, so people that, have mental health challenges are abnormal. And then it had me thinking, who defines what is normal? Does, having some kind of difference or having some kind of challenge make you an abnormal person? Who actually puts that spectrum? I know why I'm saying this. So whenever they would ask those questions, we would go and start telling them, no, this is not what mental health is about. We'd start educating them, we'd start talking to them. And over time, they would listen. Now, we were having a follow-up session with one of the kids another day. So that day, some kids that were not in our first session joined. And so just to remind them, brush through their memories, we asked them, okay, what is mental health? Tell us about it. One of the children that was not in the first session stood up and said, oh, it's something about when people are mad. And before I could even speak, or before psychologists could speak, the other kids that were there before said, no, that's not it. That's not what mental health is. It's something different. They started talking about mental health. And it was more learned at this time. And it made me realize, in that room, there were about 100 children there, 100 children that learned, that changed their perspective on how they see mental health. And all we had to do was have one conversation with them. It was one voice, and we had 100 children that would go on to have other conversations with other people and will change how other people perceive mental health, perceive things. And now we're all here. I have that question to ask everybody here. Everybody that's here definitely wants to see mental health prioritized in the country, or autism, wants to be a part of that cause. But you have to ask yourself, what exactly do you do when these conversations arise? Do you fuel jokes when people say, "Oh, everybody's mad in Lagos"? Do you participate in those jokes? It feels like jokes because you say everybody's mad in Lagos. Yeah, sure, everybody's mad in Lagos. But then it's a word that keeps repeating, and then when you say something over again, it becomes the truth. It becomes something that you believe in. Do you participate in these jokes? What do you say? What little of your effort do you put to actually making change? What do you contribute to making sure that we have change in the society in this way? And that's why I say your voice is very, 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 very important. So I have a friend. She will, at first, when we first became friends, you'd always like play with your friends and say, oh, come on, you're being silly right now. If you tell her she's being silly, she'll say, no, don't use those words around me. No. And so I used to find it like, okay, why are you being so dramatic right now? But over time, as I've grown older, I've realized just how important it is, the things that we say and how we perceive things, what we say about things, how they impact, and affect us in the long run. So like I said, your voice is extremely important. What do you do to make this change? I have a very big personal philosophy. It's noblesse oblige. It's with privilege comes responsibility. So it means if you're in a certain level of privilege, you have a certain level of responsibility. And privilege doesn't mean you have to have finance and a lot of money. It doesn't mean you have to be wealthy or a billionaire. Your voice is a privilege. The fact that you were able to be in this room to contribute to a conversation about autism, to watch this video, it means you're learning something. That's an advantage that you have been given. And it is your cross to go ahead and use that advantage to help more people. If it's, correcting one notion, correcting one narrative, your voice is a privilege. It's a power that you have, and it's something that you have to use when you leave this room, when you walk out of this room. So if there's anything that my long talk or my speech right now has given you, if there's anything I want you to take from it, it is that your voice has a lot of power. You have the power to rewrite narratives. You have the power to make change. Whatever you hear in this room, listen to in this room, you have to utilize it outside here. Whatever you watch, whether it's with autism, whether it's with mental health, whether it's with, being positive, whether it's with love, you have to take that, you have to put it forward, and you have to create a community. And if anything can remind you, think about those 100 children in that class. 100 children. I was so shocked when all the kids said, no, that's not what it is. That's not what. So it's like if 100 children will go again and pass that message, you can do the same thing. You are creating a community right now standing in this room. And yes, I think that's all I have to say. And thank you so much, Cadenza. It's such an amazing thing. I can't wait to watch this movie. And please have a wonderful rest of the day, everyone. Thank you so much.
Please, a round of applause for the one and only Expensive. Thank you so much, man. Please, you can do better. You can do better. You can do better. All right. She still has like 6 minutes left. And I feel like one or two people might have a question or two. to ask. I think I can just throw in the opportunity to have that privilege. You have any question? You have a question? Okay, beautiful. Good evening, ma'am.
So, listening to the speech, I learned a lot really. I just wanted to ask, aside from lending your voice, aside from being part of conversations or contributing to conversations about mental health positively, what other ways can we contribute to the positive view on mental health in the society? What other steps can we take? What other steps have you taken with your nonprofit that we feel like as individuals we can take? Thank
As
you.
well. Okay. Yeah.
Okay, all right. Should I stand for that?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, all right, yeah. Everything that I would say would still go back to, taking the first step. Aside, changing how you perceive conversations, you can volunteer. What I do with my nonprofit is, like I said, we work with children. We have mental health sessions. So we work with a bunch of psychologists. These are people that have their own jobs, and they sacrifice 2 hours of their time every single week, spread it out to help, the cause, help our mission. So as an individual, you have to find the best way that you have a value as a human being. You have something you can contribute to the world. There's something, is a skill you can offer. You have to find a way to utilize that skill in volunteering, helping out, and just ensuring that whoever is pushing the mental health or, autism or neurodivergency awareness mission can feel that, okay, you are part of it and you're contributing to that. So yes, I think that's what I'd have to say.
Wow. Please, a round of applause. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.